Okay, the noise, the completely you know, all this on and off noise that goes all day is totally connected to the human mind. Totally. See, as I go to speak, they turn on that noise just in brief little, like little spasms to disrupt your train of thought, to disrupt your thinking, and to take your attention onto them or their control matrix around you. In other words, the artificially intelligent android beings that are all around use technology, even machinery, to set up a noise campaign or system around you. It's called a noise campaign, just as the control stalking system is often referred to in so-called fake sections of the internet. In other words, like conspiracy type areas of the internet where people speculate on what is true or isn't, or what's a legend or what is real and what isn't, all that sort of stuff. But most people think that some of it's true, some of it ain't. But essentially, most of conspiracy ideas may or may not be true, but that's just to show human beings that there is things going on that they're not aware of. And that's to set up doubts in the minds of, say, normal people. Mobile won't be picking up this noise campaign, but the stalking control system is called gang stalking in those sections on the internet where they were so-called targeted individuals, and that is actually, all these titles are accurate because targeted individual means that you are separate from them. You're not part of their controlling system, and you're not an android being, because android beings operate like in a suburb like mine, together. They combine, because on their own, if the numbers were the other way around, in other words, if the numbers were like where I was a human being, but everyone, 3/4 of the suburb or more was a human being, or not an artificially intelligent humanoid, shall we say, in a clone body or whatever, because I don't understand. I've only heard of these things, but I know that they are androids. I know they're not human in their mindset. Like confirmation with the loud noise, but the mobile won't pick it up. I'm trying to get the mobile to pick up this intermittent, sound that goes on and off with different levels of noise and different types of technical negative vibration being sent into the house. But the mobile has trouble picking up that sound because naturally, the mobile picks up my voice that's right literally almost on the mobile. So, but yesterday the actual banging, like where they're just banging doing construction, actually sounded like gunfire almost, which is interesting, only from the point of view that, you know, I say interesting, but it's really not funny and not interesting at all. Because that's exactly how they want you to hear it, and that's exactly what it really is. Because it's affecting your frequency and vibration, or your state of emotion, shall we say, how you feel. So therefore, if you think there's gunfire, or it sounds like gunfire, even though it's construction, that is bringing your mood down. Therefore, your frequency and vibration, which is what makes up everything, frequency and vibration and energy make up everything, I'm told. So therefore, they're bringing your health, your state of well-being, right down. Plane going over, as I say that, will it? Need to be outside to pick up that noise. But the actual, like, gang stalking terminology, notice how when I said that they went, but it won't come out on the mobile. If only I could be standing outside, that way the mobile, or close to this, when it's happening. But see, they can turn it on and off, so if I'm standing there with the mobile, they don't have to make that noise, because they know what I'm doing. They are literally connected to my mind. It's what you could almost say they're like totally psychic. It's the same thing, except that they're using technology. They've connected using technology that goes through the air, more or less, or you know, to read your mind. So they know what you're going to do. They know what you're doing in the present second. They know. They try to understand your personality. The targeted individual simply means I'm trying to concentrate here, but I'm not a demigod like these lot on the computer that will tell you, or even those, most of the demigods pretend to be real humans helping you out. They pretend to be your friend on the computer. They pretend to be giving you good advice. They want you to relate to them and believe in them and trust them. And they usually profit from it, even if just getting your energy and your attention while you're watching the video. Because the more people they get watching, the more energy they get. Because unlike a real human being, they are literally energy consumers. Because they're machine beings, they need human energy to actually keep going. That is like food for them, fuel for them. They will tell you this if a psychopathic, an elite psychopath, psychologist, or even you know, an expert in that field, or in other words, those that pretend to be experts in that field, they may or may not call themselves a professor or a doctor or a psychologist or a psychiatrist, or, you know, but they will openly tell you, sorry to be aggressive, but I'm trying to override the banging. Notice how when I stop talking, they stop. The minute I start talking, they come up with the noise and the banging. But the targeted individual thing simply means, yes, that you are targeted because you are an individual. You're different to the androids. You're different to everyone that's around you in your given area. They've surrounded you. This, where I am, is a military base. The whole inner west, which means my suburb, Leichhardt, and all the surrounding suburbs, is literally a military army android base. Everyone in it is combined together in the gang stalking, or the stalking control system, the noise campaign, the use of sound through technology, whether it be the plane going overhead like right now, or the work that is going on literally almost next door, a huge construction. And this goes on day after day, month after month for the last 6 years. One work program after another, not only next to your house, but also on all the streets where you go when you go outside. But the gang stalking is called gang stalking by so-called conspiracy type of people on those particular sites, or anyone talking on that, even though it is a real system. And it's simply, a control program in a military base area that looks like a normal, average suburban suburb, but it's not. Everyone is camouflaged. Every bus driver should be wearing an army uniform or a military uniform. They do wear the same jackets, actually, to signify that at least half the people on the street wear the same jackets, because they're like, we're part of the Inner West type of council. We work for the council, doing all the different work that goes on in the Inner West area. Leichhardt, where I live, is the absolute centre. The bus depot just on the corner of my small dead-end street is literally, the main, where, the main military little building. It's the biggest. It would, some buildings, even though the entire area is a military base or a thing, some have bigger buildings where more will conglomerate. But essentially it's all over. They would use the town hall or the churches or the schools, the bus depot. The bus depot is just the bigger building where there is astronomical amount of buses and cars that go in there, which that was when I noticed also how the bus depot changed overnight when they came down on me and started patrolling me and stalking me with the gang stalking. Gang stalking simply means stalking by a gang or a large group of people. So the gang is this whole suburb. Leichhardt is literally a gang or a group or a community, except that gang is a better word in a way because it implies that they're against something, that they're antagonistic, that they're angry, that they're not. It's not like a community, like they would consider themselves a community or a docile suburb, but they're actually not, because their idea of a community is really a gang, because they're riding their motorcycles around, that's right, like in a gang, one after the other on the road coming past making a noise. That's like what you call a motorcycle gang. But it's not just motorcycles, it's buses, it's semi-trailers, it's every truck, it's every little car. It's every push bike even, it's every vehicle, and it's every civilian on foot. It's every civilian, every person you see that pops up in your line of sight wherever you look. That's how you know it's gang stalking by a whole community, a whole suburb, and a whole Inner West, which is like many suburbs, but it's all combined. And they tell you this, that all the suburbs are the same community, the same council, the same controlling force. It's not hidden, but you don't realise that. Well, you don't realise if you are the targeted individual that is not part of that they are targeting your frequency and vibration, and they are eliciting from your mind all your ideas, all your human thoughts, so that they can basically pretend to be you, really, because they can't show that they are really an android that is working against you. They have to pretend that they are a real human being with human qualities, and the only way they do that is to target and watch you. They observe you, they control you, they bring you down, while also copying all your human traits so that they can blend in and assimilate and appear that they are normal, real-life human beings, not doing anything that goes against what we would call the normal laws of the land. Because essentially, although these people are part of the legal system, they're part of your authorities, they're all your medical, all your ambulance, all your fire, all your authorities, all your council, all the people that are authority figures that you respect and have control over the area, even in a real sense. But they're actually breaking their own laws. But because it's not obvious, in other words, like if you are patrolling someone and stalking someone, unless you can prove that everyone in the area is doing this, they're not seen to be breaking the law. They're just driving around. Okay, if they make noise when they go past you, even if you could prove that, which I could, like I could film it with the mobile and say, look how noisy, of course don't forget they don't have to do that, it's like the noise here. But you see, they could legitimately still show their noise because I have filmed it on occasion in the past with the mobile when I had the old mobile. But it doesn't matter because they're like, well, that's traffic. Yes, our trucks and our cars make noise, and yes, some of the cars are aggressive and make a negative noise. Well, they're like, well, that's your problem, if particular people want to be aggressive when they drive past you. No one's going to see that as these same vehicles doing it 24 hours a day. They're just going to say that just happened on that day when you film it, and it's just, for, a limited amount of time, so what's your problem? They're not going to realise that this is a continual sound, which is a frequency and vibration sound, so it's an attack on you, or attack on me. It's only an attack on you if you happen to be another human and you happen to be listening, and somewhere in the world this same thing is happening to you. It no doubt does. But this, I seem to be the only one from my perspective that it's happening to in my area. But that doesn't mean there couldn't be, like in the inner west, another individual that is not part of the so-called system, the hidden system, or the community, or the gang stalking, the noise sound campaign, because that's all they can do to remain hidden, is to use those things and set them up around a human being. And because everyone is part of it, because they're all android beings pretending to be real human beings, copying you, making you look less while they make themselves look more human. But they don't feel any, the pram pushers don't care about what's in the pram. The dog walkers don't care about the dog. In Leichhardt, we have pram pushers and dog walkers all in one. We have someone pushing a pram, walking dogs as well. That's when they're really showing that they are, very human with compassion and a family and even animals. The same ones with the noise campaign going, which is not loud enough for the mobile to pick it up, but it's very